Little reprieve.
All right, are we ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Are we ready, Adriana? Thank you, Elijah. Mary Jane, you ready? Okay. We're starting. If we were just starting fraction, which we're not, we were working on it, right? If we were just starting fractions and you had to, there was a student that was coming into this room and they had no idea what a fraction was. And they came into this room and they said, fraction. I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them, pretend that they've never been in this room before. They have no idea what a fraction is. Tell them what a fraction is. What is a fraction? What is a fraction?
I'm going to tell you what a fraction is.
He's gonna be with us.
Yeah, you can be. Yeah.
What do we know? Oh, three, look up here. Two, look up here. One, look up here. And stop.
Fraction is a fraction.
This is what I heard. This is what I heard. Are we ready? I heard that it has something to do with division. I heard that there's a numerator. I like that. I heard that there's a denominator. I heard that it has something to do with 1/2. Okay.
But not all the time.
Not all the time, but I'm just telling you what I heard. Okay. I heard somebody say that it has to do with a whole. Okay. And that's just what I heard on this side. I didn't get to that side. But I heard that there was a lot of talking, so that made me happy that people had something to say. And then the last thing that I heard when I came back up here as I was walking up back to the board is I heard the exact thing I want. Now, I love that I heard this because all of these things do have to do with fractions. But I heard the exact definition I wanted to hear is that it is part of a whole. That's our definition of fraction. It's a piece of something.
You were looking for somebody to say part of a whole.
That's what a fraction is. When we started fractions several weeks ago, that's the definition that I gave you. Because remember, we've talked a lot about food. I told you the fractions make me hungry, right? Because we talked a lot about food and how we cut up things to make a fraction. And that fractions, Delilah, are parts of wholes. When we take a cake or we take a pie or we take a candy bar and we cut it up into pieces, those are fractions of the whole. Okay, so that's what we've been practicing this whole time. And I like that Xander said that when I said, somebody said half, that is true. It's not always a half, but we definitely have halves, like half of something. That is a fraction, right? That's one of the fractions we've been doing. A whole is the whole thing, right? Denominator is the bottom of our fraction. The numerator is the top of the fraction. And we even talked about how division is one of the ways. We talked about how sometimes when we look at fractions, that middle is almost like we divide. We talked about that. We said, oh, that's something you're going to talk about in fourth grade. But it is part of fractions. So somebody mentioned that it has something to do with division. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Like first you do number 9
Mhm.
and imagine 9 fourths is multiplied by fourths.
Yep.
And then you do 1 and here and then at the end there's 3.
Mhm.
When you do that, like let me see. Right here there's 4 4 4. So you put 4 4 and then 4 is 5, but there's still 4 under it and then 6 4 7 4 8 4. But then how many do you think that there is for the like here in the middle? They have to be 4 boxes like there 4 boxes.
Okay, let me stop you right there. That's exactly, Adriana was talking about a number line, and that's exactly what we're going to be using today. We've been using number lines. We've been putting fractions on number lines, right, Delilah? Answer ourselves, please. Thank you. Something we need to remind ourselves of that we've been talking a lot about. If I have no, I don't need your notes, but thank you for that. I want you to think about this right now. We have to remind ourselves of this really quickly before we start our lesson for today. Okay? We've talked about this, so I'm gonna see if you remember this. So you're gonna tell your partner, okay? So whoever you're sitting next to. If I have this fraction, or if I have this fraction, or if I have this fraction, what do all of these fractions have in common? What do they all have that's the same? But you're gonna tell the person next to you. Ready? Is everybody, oh, I didn't see a lot of eyes up here. Ready? Is it about this? No, we're not talking about that yet. First, 1/1, 2/2, 3/3. I want you to look at those. We've been talking about this a lot. I want you to tell your partner right now. I want you to talk with your partner. Can you tell me what those things have in common? What's the same about them?
They're part of the whole.
Oh, talk to your partners. Ready? Go. What do you have? What about them is the same? What do they have? It's the same. Yeah. What do they have?
Look at this. Look at this.
1/1, 2/2, 3/3. What do they have?
Look at this back into your brain. Look at it into your
Rhiannon, Jack and Diane? What do they have? What's the same name?
Hey, how's it going?
1/1, 2/2, 3/3.
That of you, turn around.
Okay, so a fraction. What are they? Explain why. Tell us why they did that.
What full fractions are there?
Always refer to.
Okay. Can you refer back to your notes? There you go. Thank you. That makes sense.
It's a full.
There you go. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You got it. And what does also represent in the number? Did you explain it? And what number does it have? What number will it represent?
All right,
What number? What whole number?
eyes up here in 3,
Should I put 1?
2,
Oh, one.
1, 0. I heard so many good things. I heard, we've been doing this for a while and I heard a lot of good answers. So most of you were able to tell me, yes, these are fractions. And that I heard a lot of people tell me when the numerator, I like that I heard that you're using your vocabulary. When the numerator and the denominator are the same, they equal 1 whole. So these all, even though there's 1 over 1 and 2 over 2 and 3 over 3, these are all 1 whole.
It's like
Okay?
1/4.
4/4 equals 1 whole. Exactly. So you know that these equal 1 whole. So good. I'm glad you remember that because we're going to do number lines, and sometimes the number lines they don't start with 1, and you have to know what to start with. So let me draw a number line. So here's what I want you to do. I want everyone to draw a number line in their journal. So I see that you have should be a new one. Thank you.
Just figured something
You're
out.
I know you like that page, but I want you to start with a new page. Yes, Delilah.
I just figured something out.
Okay, hold that thought. Okay. All right, I want you all to draw a number line. Ethan, open your journal, please. Draw me a number line.
Okay.
Try to make it straighter than mine. All right. Yes, ma'am.
But let's say that you can.
Yep,
Also, you have a candy bar.
yep.
It's
It's equal. Yes. Yes. All right. So does everybody have their number line drawn in their journal? Okay. I want you to start it with 0 here. And I want you to end it with 2 over here. So what's going in the middle?
1.
1. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You're gonna say 1. Try to make it as close to the middle as possible. We're not measuring it with a ruler, so you just do it as best you can, right? And then what I want you to do is we're going to split this up into, we're going to split this up and we're going to split it up into, just splitting up into halves. So just like sometimes someone said in the beginning that we can do 1/2. So let's split this up into 1/2. So if I do 1/2, where's my half going to go? Samuel? If I'm going between the 0 and the 1, where's it going? If I want to put 1/2 on my number line. Between yes, right in the middle, right? I'm gonna put it up here because I'm gonna put something else on my number line. If this is 0, 1/2, and I want to put on my number 1, Dylan, are you doing a number line for me? Are you drawing your number line? Are you going to? Yeah, okay. Just like I just did before this, where we had 1 over 1, 2 over 2, 3 over 3. What's my 1 going to be if I have a 2 as my denominator? Adriana?
2.
It's gonna be 2 over 2, right?
2 over 2.
Okay. Now, what is this going to be if I go in the middle between 1 and 2?
2 over 3. Where? 3 over 2.
3 over 2. or 3 halves, yep. What's my 2 going to be?
0, 2.
I didn't do my 0, 2. 0 over 2, 1 over 2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, 4 halves or 4 over 2. Yep. Now, if I'm doing equivalent fractions or fractions that are equal, and I want to split, now I'm gonna use the same number line. Do you guys have this number line written in your journal? I see lots of people have this in your journal. Good job, nice. Yes,
Wait, I can't change the order.
is that what that works? If you need a new one, go ahead and get one. Okay. What if I said now, instead of doing,
Oh, there's no more short. What? No.
instead of cutting this in halves, now I want to do it in fourths.
But the half.
So let's say, so now I want to do fourths. Bless you. What would I do? So then let me do this first. We already know that this is 0 over 4. What would the 1 be? But remember we said if it's 1 whole, the top and the bottom have to be the same, right? We already did that and we talked about it and we worked on it. So if it was fourths, wouldn't it be 4 over 4?
Oh, wait. Wait, are you talking about?
If I just jump here, I just want to put on the whole numbers first. Can we do that?
No.
No?
For the skin again, or the
If I'm going to, this was oh my 2s, I cut it into halves. Now I want to do my equivalent fraction, so I want to cut it into fourths.
But it's four to four. Two halves, and the other 2 halves, it makes it 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Emma.
So, so on the 1 half right there.
Mhm.
0 and the 1.
Yep.
1, 4.
Yep.
4.
Okay, so let's do, if I have 1/4, 0 fourths here, then in between here, in between the 0 and the 1, how many pieces do I have to cut it into? 4. So I have to start here and I have to have a 1/4 here.
Oh.
And then Samuel just said that that means that my 1/2 has to be 2/4. Then I have to have a 3/4. And then I thought this would be easier, but I think I confused you and I apologize about that. Then my 1 whole is going to be my 4/4. Because remember, when the top and the bottom are the same, it equals 1 whole.
Oh, Miss Kenzie also?
Bless you. Yes.
Oh, the 2 whole is gonna be 8/4.
It is. So let's get there and let's look at that. You're right. So what comes next? 4/4, and then what comes after 4/4?
5/4.
5/4. What comes after my 5/4?
6/4.
6/4. What comes after the 6/4?
7/4.
And then Samuel already said, he said the 2 is going to be 8/4. So now if I look at this, I have my number line cut into, if I take this and I say this is a candy bar, I cut it into 2s, right? And then down here I cut it, now let's say I bought a candy bar and I only was going to have one friend over. So we both just needed pieces. And then into halves. We were just gonna half it. So my friend and I were just gonna half it. And then two other friends said, hey, I wanna come over too. So now we needed to take that candy bar and we needed to cut it into 4 pieces instead of 2. So now we still have enough pieces for everybody to eat, but are the pieces gonna be bigger or the pieces gonna be smaller? So we're all still going to get candy, we just have to eat less, right?
And it's kind of better the other way. If there's still 4 people the other way, then we're gonna get like the same amount, but.
Yeah.
It's like-
You're right, yes.
And also, if you're putting something up into the beginning, it's always, like, when you're doing actions, it's kind of when you're cutting it up, always do, like, let's say you had to cut it into 4 pieces, you cut it 3 times. because it's-
Say that again?
So it's like, you have a can,
Uh-huh.
put it into 4 pieces.
Yep.
So you put it into 3 pieces instead. But, put it into 2 pieces. First, 5. I don't see. It's confusing.
Oh, I see, okay, so this is what she's saying. I know what you're saying.
I know. it's-
She said you take this candy bar and she said you make 3 cuts. See, if you make, when you want 3 pieces, you make 2 cuts, right? And then you have 3 pieces. So she's saying if I want a candy bar and I want to make 4 pieces, I make 3 cuts. And it ends up with 4 pieces. That's what she's saying.
Or you could also.
So you make less, you make 3 cuts, but you have 4 pieces.
Or.
I got what you're saying.
Can I
Yes.
also do it like.
Okay, hold that thought. Okay, hold that thought. Okay, here's what you're going to do. We're going to do one more. First, I'm going to ask Benjamin to look up here. Thank you. This top one is the one right here that I just did up here that you should have, Molly, in your journal. This top one right here. I wanted you to do it in your journal so you would have it for your note. Okay, so this top one you've already done in your journal, in your notes, so you have that, so you can keep it, so you can look back at it. Right now, we're gonna do this second one together. Okay, I should see a lot more eyes up here right now. I have Adriana and Elijah, thank you. How about Jesus P? Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Delilah and Dylan. Thank you, Sophia and Ethan. Thank you so much. We're gonna do this second one here together right now. You're gonna write it on this paper. I'm gonna do it up here with you. And then some of you I'm gonna send back to finish this at your desks. And then some of you I'm gonna keep up here with me and we're gonna work on it. So everybody right now is going to do the second one. Don't rush to do this top one. You don't need to do it on this paper. It's in your journal. Not right now. Not right now. Right now, we're gonna do the second one together. Okay, I'm gonna do it up here. You're gonna do it on this paper. Okay? So while I'm passing this out, you're gonna put your name on your paper. And then we're gonna do it together. It'd be helpful if you look up so you can see the paper and then I can give it out to you really quickly. Put your name on it, Titus. And then we'll do you do not have to do the first one. It's already in your journal. We're gonna do the second one together. Molly. Thank you. Yep. You can tell me later. I don't need you to tell me right now, okay? Come on. Thank you. Here you go. Nope. We're doing the second one together and then I'm gonna send some people off. Here you go. Just work. Rhiannon, can you pass that back to Sebastian, please? There you go. Because the ball was dirty outside, so it was wet. Okay, let's take a look. I'm gonna draw my number line. Everybody's looking at the number line. 3, 2, 1. Just because you have your papers does not mean we're talking. Molly, it's the last time and then I'm gonna have to take that pen from you, so you pay attention. Everybody should be on this side. Classwork side. Classwork side. Side that I'm on. We just did number 1 together. We're working on number 2. We're doing number 2 together. Okay. It says we're working on halves and 6. So they have some of the halves already on there. So I'm going to quickly add on to my number line what they already have. You're looking at your paper right now. And I'm going to add on what's missing. I'll do my halves in green. It's really noisy in here. And you paying attention? Right here, what I'm missing at the top, you'll see that they have the halves. They have 1/2, but they're missing here. What goes over the 0? We're doing the halves first.
Oh, 0.
Sophia.
0.
0 what? 0 over 2, right? And then what goes over the 1? Hey, Sus Jean, what goes over the 1 if we're doing the halves at the top? 2 over 2, good. Make sure you're writing this on your paper. And then we need what goes between the 1 and the 2? Adriana, what goes between the 1 and the 2? Oh, look at you, you're talking too much over there, Missy. I'm missing this one right here.
Oh, I know what it is.
What goes there, Ethan? Hmm? 3 over 2 or 3 halves? Okay. What goes over the 2, Adriana? Yep. What goes over the 2? We have 0 over 2 or 0 halves, 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves. Good. Now, what does it say we're doing at the bottom of this number line? Okay, so speed. What goes at the bottom? We're all doing it together. 6. Okay, so at the bottom are 6s. 6. So what goes under the 0? 0, 6. Now, what goes next to it? Goes right here.
Oh.
1, 6. What goes next to that? Come on. What goes next to that? 2, 6. Yes. What goes next to that, Titus? 3, 6. Who's making that noise? Please stop. 4, 6. Sophia, what can I help you with? Okay, do you see where we are on your paper? Let me see where you are. Okay. But we're not all just, see where these lines are up here? This is 1/6. Here's 0.6 already. 1/6, 2/6. This is a 3/6 here. See, we're putting them on all the lines that are on this page. Okay? Make sure. Okay, so see. Translating, no other topic. All right. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, what comes next?
5, 6.
Thank you. And then next,
6, 6.
what comes next?
7, 6.
And then
8, 6. 9, 6.
8. Now, what are my equivalent fractions? Rhiannon, what are my equivalent fractions? How do I know where to find my equivalent fractions? Eliana, help her out.
We're gonna get water. Can you walk behind me for a minute?
So on the 3 side, and then it's on the 6 thing, and then on the 9.
Wait, okay, the equivalent fractions are the fractions that are right above each other. When they fall at the same place on the number line, those are the fractions that are equivalent or equal. That means that they are the exact same. So these pieces might end up being smaller, right? The pieces are smaller, but that amount is going to be exactly the same. So if I ate 1/2 of it, or if I ate 3/6 of it, it's going to be exactly the same. The pieces just might be smaller, but I'll still eat the same amount. Okay, yes, ma'am.
It's like you're eating the same amount. Like just smaller. It's like we kind of you can kind of tell it because you can tell it it's with those numbers and the numbers are above. You can tell like oh like you just see because on 0, 6, 6 like so like at the top and then 0, 0.
Yes, and then you have to go this time. Okay, I'm going to have Rhiannon and Samuel and Titus and Xander. You are going back to your seats. You're finishing the bottom of this paper and then you're going on Zern. Take it with you. The back is homework.
Yeah, this I didn't really get what it meant.
Okay, then you can stay if you want to help.
Only stay for the 2 because I didn't
Okay.
get what it meant. I didn't know.
Okay.
Well, I just didn't know what the
Alright.
tool is.
That's why you're sitting here. Okay, oh, I'm gonna explain it to you. That's why you're sitting here. Okay.
Oh, Sebastian. Sebastian.
All right. So let's look at this. All right. So it says on your paper to if they come sit down. Okay. All right. All right, I want to skip two. I want to skip actually two, and I want us to look at number 3. Okay, so let's look at number 3 right now. Okay, and it says 2 force equals something over 6. So I want you to look at 2 force. And I want you to go back and look at your number line in your journal. So look at your number line in your journal that we did.
I already told them to go.
So go back to your number line in your journal that we did before.
Okay, we're gonna find it unrecorded here, so either you want to discuss it? I don't mind for any of the conversation.
Do you have your number line in your journal that we did before?
I would have walked out.
Who has their number line that we did in their journal before? Okay. And look and find where you had the 2 fourths. And then what do we have it equal to? How many? Now you need to send this to me. Take your stuff with you, please. Put your stuff on your desk. Okay. Now find on your number line.
I'm gonna find.
Adriana, are you looking at your number line that you did in your journal? Is that the one we did on the board? Together. The number 1 that we did together. In your journal, you have the number line that we did before. The number line that we did before, find where we did the 2 force. And then I want you to find what the number was that is equal to how many 6. Do you see where we did that on the journal, in your journal? I think that you guys have just been down here too long. That's what I think. So I think you're gonna take your papers and you're gonna go back to your seats and you're gonna sign on to Zern. And you're gonna work on Zern for a while, and then we will come back to this. Because I think you're all a little bit checked out and you need some time to just look at something else besides me. So you're gonna take your papers, do not lose them. Don't, that does not mean please start talking. That means you're gonna walk yourself back to your seats. You're gonna keep your papers. You're going to sign onto your voice. You're gonna sign onto your computers. Sign onto your computers. And sign into Zern. And then I will walk around if you.